Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Today in Titletown Packers podcast. My name is Griffin. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at AllDayPackers, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend Bron, who you can follow on Instagram at Lambo.Leapers. We're coming back to you after another a Packers loss, the fourth loss of the season. Does it feel like a loss? No, because this game meant nothing. But it was still fun to watch. You got some good nuggets on Jordan Love. He played. He played. For the first time in a while, it's been like the Packers played over the weekend, and they're kind of an afterthought. Like, I haven't seen anyone on TV talk about the Packers game. Like, this game meant nothing, and it was such a fun Sunday of fun football. That Sunday night game was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about here because we got no game this week, of course. So this is just gonna be a fun, laid-back podcast. Bron, how did you enjoy your Sunday of meaningless football?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, it kind of felt like a bye week because we lost to the Lions, and we don't have to care about the result, which is nice. We'll talk about that game a little bit, though, because as you know, Griff, I always have a lot to say, especially when it comes to a certain backup quarterback. But
okay, we cannot dog on Jordan Love. We can't make it that podcast, Bron. We can't do it.
It doesn't. I'm not gonna go crazy or anything, but I certainly have some things to say.
I know you have some things to say. Do you want to get that out of the way? Do you want to talk about Jordan Love?
Well, the only thing is like we have two opportunities to go and try to score, and then the one that we did actually get a touchdown on was all thanks to Josiah DeGuara, and I'm not going to punish Jordan for throwing a touchdown, which he did, but then he threw two picks when we needed him most, and it's like, but we're not going to blame him yet. It's not his fault. We're not going to blame him yet. We need to give him more time. We need to give him more time.
He needs more time. He needs more time, Bron.
But guys are getting cut. Like Josh Rosen got cut after a year, and it's like these guys are. The standard is much higher now, and we can't just be like Jordan. We can't be continuing to baby Jordan Love. And when you throw two picks, and in the last one we have a chance to go down and try to show us that you're like this potential superstar. These are the moments. Go win a game. You have an opportunity to go down and try to win a football game, and he threw two picks in those big moments. And I don't care what happened to the ball got tipped or whatever. It should not have been caught by Amari Rodgers. And I'm not saying that it's his fault that it got picked, but then he went and threw another pick that was completely his fault. I mean, what do you want? Like, you get another chance, and he did it again. I mean, it was
worst case scenario, definitely worst case scenario. But here's the thing, Bron. So these guys like Josh Rosen, these guys like, I don't know who else, maybe Tua this year, and maybe Davis Mills, like they come into these
Dwayne
organizations.
Dwayne Haskins, think about it.
So like these teams, waiting on your quarterback to develop is such an outdated way of thinking in the NFL. And a lot of teams, they don't give their QBs a chance. If they're not good within the first few years, then they're out on them. They're ready to draft the next guy. But having Aaron Rodgers, drafting in advance, gives us the opportunity to let him develop, and maybe he can be something. Because imagine if Aaron Rodgers got drafted by the Washington football team 2 years ago. Like the same player, same everything. They probably would have been out on him pretty early on, and then we never would have gotten to see the best quarterback of all time. So, and if we didn't have Aaron Rodgers, we draft Jordan Love to start right away, and maybe we move on from him already. But we have the benefit of having Aaron Rodgers, who maybe can play a lot more years, and maybe we want him to play for the Packers for a lot more years. So we get to let Love develop. That's kind of the advantage. Is he ever going to develop? I don't know. He kind of reminds me a lot of Drew Lock after watching Drew Lock on Sunday, or Saturday. It kind of reminds me of just a guy who's got a lot of talent, but is probably never going to be able to put it together, which is true for most quarterbacks in the NFL. But at least we have a shot that maybe he can be the successor to Rodgers. That's always potential.
No, shut up. That's not, no.
There's potential of that.
He's not shown anything. No, he has never shown anything to me in the slightest. And I'm not saying we should get rid of him or anything. He's a fine backup. He can make a decent throw here and there, but he has never shown me that he's got the ability to be the successor to Aaron Rodgers. We have no reason to move on from Aaron Rodgers whatsoever. I don't care if we have to pay him $100 million a year. I don't care what the quarterback market is, and we've got Jordan Love sitting there. I don't care. This guy, yes, we need a backup. We've always needed a backup. Ever since Matt Flynn, Brett Hundley wasn't good enough to take us to the playoffs, and you can't ask that of a backup, but you'd like to have it, and now we've got a chance because this is a guy you can ask that of. If Rodgers were to go down at some point in the season and we'd need him, and he could come back for the playoffs, we need somebody to be able to hold down the fort and keep us rolling, but we have not won a game with Jordan Love as the quarterback yet, and he just is not showing me anything that has like flashes of stardom or anything like that.
Yes.
It's just like, how many picks is he going to throw? That like, how many more do we have to see? Like, he's every time he gets a chance to show, like, oh, this could be his moment where, like, I remember when Baker Mayfield won that Thursday night football game with that, he had a great game-winning
against
drive.
The Jets,
came in,
against Sam
against
Darnold.
The Jets, yes. And that was a moment where he looked like he could start in the league, and Jordan Love has never showed me that. We need him as a backup to be somewhat decent, and he's shown that he can play and a little bit and throw, but he's also got the worst pocket awareness I've seen from a Packers quarterback. And
oh my God.
If you haven't,
do you remember Brett Hundley?
Think about how Rodgers has gone the whole season without fumbling, and then Jordan Love gets in 2 games, and every 5 minutes he's about to lose the football, and it's like, wow, you appreciate Rodgers more and more as you watch these other quarterbacks play. It's really crazy.
Okay, here's the thing where I think you're right. I do agree that he has shown not many flashes. He did have a very nice pass to Tyler Davis that, unfortunately, Tyler Davis could not bring down in the end zone.
Decent throw. Little high wobbler. Little high wobbler throw. It's a nice throw.
A little high. It was a little high, but catchable, and it was a great throw on the run.
A little high, yeah, wobbler. But
you expect you got... Oh, my God. You expect your guy to make that catch, and if he makes that catch... it probably doesn't change your opinion at all. But, that's a little bit of a flash. But, yes, I agree. Other than that, there's been no flash, and that's the concerning thing. And I saw a video circulating on Twitter of, 2006, Rodgers coming in, second year for an injured Brett Favre against the Patriots, and he stunk it up, and he played bad. The clip showed him playing very poorly. But also, that's the Bill Belichick defense, and I don't know what the Patriots did that year, but I'm assuming they went to the playoffs and played very well. And it's Bill Belichick, not the Detroit Lions, who have won 2 games all year. So, not a very fair comparison.
The Detroit Lions backups. The Lions backups in most of the cases.
The Lions starters are backups, so. But still,
That's a good point.
Is Love going to be the successor? I don't know. Is he going to be any good? I don't know. But... we'll see. And luckily, we have the benefit of being able to wait and see on Jordan Love, unless he wants out after this season, which is a possibility because we have to decide on the 5th-year option for Love after next year. So it's kind of like, we don't have a lot of time to waste here. We gotta.
What if he wanted to play? I mean, I know
if he wants to play, he's gonna pull a Rodgers from last offseason.
Maybe he decides. How patient is he? Maybe he doesn't feel like maybe he feels like he wants to start. Maybe he's like, all right, trade me. I doubt he does that, though. Also, he has no leverage at all. They're just going to be like, no, that's not happening.
No one wants to trade for you.
They'd probably say, who do you think you are? Also, what are we going to get for you, a 2024 7th?
We weren't around for the Rodgers drama when he was the backup behind Favre, but didn't something similar happen there where they had to extend him before he was even the starter? Or maybe they extended him before the 2008 season. But the Packers are going to have another decision like that. And, I don't know. Maybe they still believe in him, but he hasn't shown a lot of flashes that he can be that guy in the NFL, which is concerning, I'd say.
Disappointing, too. I mean, when you pick a guy in the first round and trade up for him, sacrificing the chance to add another real talent to bolster your NFC Championship squad, that's definitely, that's not great. I'd rather us maybe get a receiver or add whatever to the defense, right, at the time. But I think it was important to get a quarterback because we needed a backup that could actually potentially be somebody that, if Aaron were to get hurt, that could come in and be like a legitimate quarterback, and not just once Rodgers is hurt, oh, that's it, year's over. I wanted somebody with a possibility that could make us a legitimate threat still as a football team without Aaron. And that's just not the case with Jordan yet, at least. And it's been 2 years, and the idea is you develop and sit under Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be beneficial, but we haven't seen any benefits from that yet. We just haven't seen it. And he's getting more than any other quarterback has. Talk about Trevor Lawrence, these guys, Zach Wilson. They're inserted right away, but Jordan Love is able to sit, and he's been learning with Aaron Rodgers, the best mentor you could possibly have at the quarterback position, and he's gotten a chance to learn from him in the meeting room, practice with no pressure to have to play yet, except for 2 games, and when he's been put in those games, he's struggled. He's struggled in practice quite a bit. He's shown that he can make an NFL quarterback throw at times in practice, but you need more from a first-round pick, and he just hasn't shown that. So it's really disappointing. And it's sad that we did all that just to, it created all this tension with Rodgers, and hopefully we're out of it, and Rodgers is, all good with the organization now, but that's what started everything. That's what really, really started all the drama and the chaos, and hopefully now we're back in a position with Aaron that it's good enough that even if Jordan Love doesn't work out, we'll still have Aaron around, so we won't have to worry about it as much, not relying on him to be the starter or anything like that.
Yeah, well, now retirement is kind of more of a possibility in my head now than it was at any point in the past couple of years for Aaron, especially if we win the Super Bowl. I feel like that's a very Aaron thing to do, but I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a lot of offseason talk. We're only talking about this because this game against the Lions, it wasn't very exciting. We lost. 4th game of the year. I posted this today. Matt LaFleur has lost 4 games, including the playoffs, each season that he's been the Packers head coach. And this was our 4th loss of the season. So we're going to win every game the rest of the way because LaFleur only loses 4 games a year. So Super Bowl champions, as you said, past 2 weeks in a row. Just give us his trophies already. Just give us the rings. It's over. But mostly Sunday was just exciting because of all the football that was going on. It felt like a real playoff preview, like these playoffs. We've been saying it all season long, man. There's no dominant elite team other than Green Bay. But even midseason, we weren't sure who it was, and it wasn't Green Bay at the time. Now it seems to kind of be Green Bay. But other than that, especially in the AFC, there is no front runner, and it is anyone's ball game. And these games on Sunday were so fun. That Sunday night game, that Rams 49ers game was so much fun. And I can't wait to just sit back and watch Wild Card Weekend play out. Super Wild Card Weekend. They're still calling it that. Why are they still calling it that? It's very tacky in my opinion, but I'm not Roger Goodell, so can't change that, can I?
No, you can't, Griff, but it is 3 days, and that is pretty
super. That is
super to me.
Yeah, that's pretty super. Okay, I'll give him that. It's pretty super.
Well, there you go. And with that's going to do. No.
Let's talk about Rodgers. Rodgers probably locked up MVP. It didn't matter how well he played. It was just a matter of it's his award to lose, and he didn't lose it. So I think he's minus 600 in Vegas. So it's his award pretty much. But he played very well. Looked very sharp against the Lions. Both of his touchdowns to Lazard were just, oh my God,
those passes.
That first one, man, that was peak Aaron Rodgers right there. Just tight window. The second reaction play where he just fires it in there, and he's got his O-line back, man. Minus Bill Turner, he's got his guys back, and he was dancing in that pocket on Sunday, just like Prime Rodgers. It's nice to see, and he's moving well this year too.
Yeah, the one thing was that they weren't playing in rhythm as much. That's the only thing. I don't know if it was the receivers or if it was Aaron himself, but he had all the time in the world. Having David back, he felt comfortable.
The meaningless game factor there. I think he was just trying to play around.
He wanted to play around. He definitely wanted to play around and just have fun, I think. That's what it looked like. I definitely agree. That's a good way to put it. The fact that it was really a meaningless game, that makes me feel better because I was a little concerned. Maybe he's trying to with David back, he's falling into the idea of playmaker But you're right. The fact that it was meaningless, the game didn't matter. He probably didn't worry so much about playing in structure and obviously playing the offense to a T and just getting it getting the ball out to the guy on schedule. He probably wanted to have a little fun, and then he looked really good. I mean, his passes were so precise. The second one to Lazard, you talked about the first one. The second one that Lazard kind of had to juggle a little bit. He was wide open, but Rodgers threw it perfectly over the defender, right into Lazard's hands in the end zone. That was such a good throw. Oh my goodness. He is on another level right now, and he looked so good in that half that he played. It was really good. It was great to see that he was right on, and Devante looked good, and their connection were super smooth. And then he was able to hit Lazard and give him all this trust and momentum with 2 touchdown passes. We've got everything we need. We just got to connect a little bit more. I think the tight end play has to step up a little bit. It was nice to see Josiah have a huge play. We'd like to get that with Rodgers in the game too, and hopefully he can be utilized like that. Josiah, we interviewed him. Friend of the show.
We did interview him. I say every time he catches a pass, I say, "Oh, that's my good friend Josiah DeGuara."
It's pretty cool that also about AJ Dillon. There's some guys on this team we've interviewed. Dominique Daphne, we've interviewed those guys, and we get to say it every time they walk on the field. Oh yeah, we interviewed him.
Yeah, had a 30-minute conversation with that guy. Not 30 minutes. a little bit shorter than that. But
probably about that. Whatever.
It's so crazy, isn't it, that it's since week 11. Like, that's the split you need to do with Rodgers' season. It's since week 11. He has been on another level, returning to his MVP form. And if you take away everything after week 11, he's not the MVP. Like, there's no way he would win it. It's this stretch that he's been on, which is the reason he's going to win his 4th MVP award. And I feel like we can't understate that, because do you remember at the time, it was so strange, because that first half of the Vikings game was like bad. It was a bad half. Rodgers played poorly against Seattle. He was out with COVID the week before, and he's just looking like not like himself. And then after halftime, or no, it was right before halftime, he threw that bullet to DeGuara on the run, moving to his left, which was a crazy play. And it's like, that's kind of the play that changed his season, like turned it around. Because ever since then, the rest of that game, he threw one incompletion, the rest of that game. He was on fire, and ever since then, he has just looked like his old self. And it's very strange. I don't know what happened. I think I joked on Twitter at the time that he found the 2010 film at halftime, but he's been on another level ever since then, and it's great. It's great, man, because this is what we need. This is what elevates the team to the level that we expect it to be, and just on a throw-by-throw basis, there's no better quarterback in the NFL than Rodgers right now.
What is it since week 11? I think he's had 20 touchdowns and no picks since that time, the specific week 11 that you mentioned.
No
None.
Interceptions. That is
0.
Absurd. It's like that. The interception to Jamal Adams against the Seahawks kind of broke his season. He's like, I'm not doing that again. How embarrassing.
I never want to throw one of those again. Yeah. I mean, he's been so good. All right, well, let's talk about Devante. How good did he play? I felt like he was right in rhythm with Aaron, making those same moves and same catches. And it looks so easy, Griff. This is what I'm talking about. Everybody always wonders, they rely too much on Aaron and Devante. They do that by choice, because we've seen what happens when Devante gets hurt. We still win the game. They've never lost without Devante. So, I mean, it's not like they're relying on him. They just choose to throw it to the best player on the field because they can. And it's that easy for those two. Their connection it bests every other team's defense and whatever they're throwing at them. It doesn't matter. So what Green Bay is going to continue to do is that, unless somebody is able to stop it, and then they'll go to whatever else they need to go to. But as long as they can do it, why not? I mean, put it in your best player's hands, and that's what they should do, and that's what they will do, unless somebody finds a way to stop it. And like I said, nobody has in all these years. So that's their best way, and we're going to continue to do it until somebody tries to stop it and can, and that has yet to happen.
It's 2 Hall of Famers, bro. Like, how many teams have 2 Hall of Famers on their team, both on offense? Like, it's pretty rare. Like, I'm all for, as I say pretty much every week, I'm all for just throwing it to Devante every single play because he's so special. And on days like Sunday, when he knows he's breaking a record, he's on. And of course he was. And he made some spectacular plays after the catch. Was phenomenal, as he always is. And that duo is unlike anything else in the sport. Maybe it's 3 Hall of Famers, actually. David Bakhtiari back on the field.
Griff, it's so great to have him back. How exciting was it to see that hair flowing on the field again?
The hair flowing. It was just that first snap, seeing him line up at left tackle. It was like the world was healed. Like, what? Yes. COVID, what? Everything's all right again. We're back where we were, man.
So great to have him back, man. I love David, and he's an all-pro football player in this league, and that is so valuable. And now we are just healthier. And who else are we getting back, Griff?
We just found out today. Set to practice.
Zadarius Smith is coming back. He's going to play in the divisional round.
Z was the one who I wasn't sure, because he's still on IR, hasn't practiced. I'm not sure about Z, but he's going to practice
I felt good about Z. You know why? Because he is the type of player, and he plays the type of position and snap count to where, and he as soon as he was ready, he doesn't have to go through that same protocol that all these other guys have to go through of, like, Matt LaFleur is going to make sure that they're ready. Like, Z, he's going to jump in as soon as he's been labeled cleared by the doctors, and that's what he does. And he's going to do that in the divisional round. And I'm so happy for him. He posted that. I mean, he's going to play. There's no doubt in my mind, and I don't think there's a doubt in his mind. He's going to play in the divisional round. Jair is absolutely going to play because he was probably going to play in this past game if he wasn't on the COVID list for the most of the week and only had one practice.
Right.
Obviously, David's back. We just got
Jair's been
Bill
practicing
Turner.
since December 8th.
Yes, bro. Jair is fine. Jair is going to play.
He's ready to come.
Bill Turner, he's back now. He's going to be back. And we thought his season could be over. We thought it was We thought it was what Elton did in ACL, and here
I was there
are.
live when that happened. I was there.
That sucks, dude.
I was like,
it sucks
no,
to lose
Bill
Elton.
Turner, not great.
Oh,
no, not
Bill.
Elton.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Bill. You think I went to
both
Minnesota?
sucked. Yeah, both sucked, and but we're getting Billy back, and it's great
Cobby
to have
back?
him. And Cobb,
Cobby?
we've mentioned 100 times.
I mean, Cobb was so good before he got injured.
So
man.
good.
He was
He's
better
automatic
than
on
anyone
third
expected
down.
him to be.
Automatic on third down. And everywhere else, he's been so spectacular. And I literally every week go on a rant talking about how great he's been and how nobody should have ever doubted him and we should have never cut him and I wish we never did. And I'm so glad he's back because he wanted to be back. And now here he is. And he's going to play in the divisional round. And we're going to be at almost full strength.
Full strength, man.
And it's so hard to believe. Like, we're going to be at our best. The only difference is David and Elton switching roles, really. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I can't think of many other guys that are, well, we didn't have guys like Whitney Merciless and Rasul Douglas in week one.
Pour one out for Whitney Merciless, man.
I wish he could be with this team, too. What a great fourth he would be at the edge rusher.
Yeah.
But it's great to have the guys that we have now, and I just feel so good about where we're at health-wise. And I posted something similar about the Rams lost one of their really good safeties, Jordan Fuller, lost him to an injury. And I said, this is the type of thing that the Packers get to avoid by having the automatic win in the wild card round with the bye week that they got. And teams like the Rams and all these other NFC teams are going to suffer while they beat each other up in the wild card round. Green Bay is going to be at its healthiest, its most rested of the year, and they're going to reach their maximum health. And it's just like, that is so valuable. And they're going to have to come to Green Bay, these warm weather teams like the Rams and Tampa Bay and whoever else. I mean, wow. We are in a great position, and it's set up for us to go out, at least get to the Super Bowl. And then if we are what I feel like we are, which is the best team in football, we're going to go and win the whole thing. So it's a really good position that we're in. I'm as excited as it gets, Griff, as you know.
We never mentioned Josh Myers being back. He was back in the lineup.
Oh,
Looked
yes.
Good. Looked good. I mean, Lucas...
Too many guys we're forgetting, like, how many guys. Because all these guys coming back within a week or so, it's pretty great.
Getting Royce Newman off the field makes a big difference, in my opinion. And Lucas, back at that right guard spot where he's played for most of his career, it's pretty good for him.
Yeah, I like Lucas
Josh
playing
Myers,
in the
rookie second rounder, getting him some snaps. That's great, and he's ready to rock and roll. Everyone's ready to rock and roll here, and we are ready to go, man. This is so exciting. It's so exciting being back in the playoffs. Number 1 seed. We could have rested these guys, and we didn't, but they're going to get 2 weeks of rest, and we got out of here with no injuries other than MVS, which who knows what's wrong with him. But it's just everything is okay, and we get to sit on the couch this week, watch the NFL action go on, and see who we're playing, which could either be, who could it be? It could be the Eagles, it could be the Rams, the Niners, or the Cardinals, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And I always say, Griff, I always like to say that we have to watch these other teams, or not we have to, we get to watch these other teams beat each other up. And when I say that, I mean they have to go through a grueling game, win or go home mentality with guys playing all with their hearts and every bit of their fiber of their being to go out there while Green Bay is resting, preparing, getting healthier. And it's grueling, and it's a lot to have to go through one of these playoff games. And then, I said it, if it ends up not being an upset in those first 2 days, the Saturday and Sunday games, it'll be in that 4-5 matchup, it's going to be the winner of that game. If the Eagles don't win and the Niners don't beat the Cowboys, which it's possible, we'll get into all that playoff talk, but otherwise, it's going to be the winner of Rams-Cardinals, and that's a warm weather team playing on a Monday. Either one of them. Arizona, warm weather in a dome. The Rams, warm weather, dome-type stadium. And whoever wins that game, it'll be Monday night. They'll be on a short week, potentially playing on either a Saturday night or a Sunday night. So they're going to have to play on a short week coming to Lambeau Field. And it's just in the freezing cold. It's expected to be, I mean, this is a pretty far forecast, but they're talking about it being kind of similar to what it is like now in Green Bay. Single-digit temperatures.
Was it -8 today?
Yes. I don't think it's going to be that cold, but we never know. I mean, it's so far out, but I mean, that's crazy. Right now it's -4 in Green Bay at this time, which is insane. I mean, if it's anything like that,
insane, man.
That is
Imagine we get a game like that.
That's
Imagine
Ice Bowl weather.
Bro.
That's the Ice Bowl 2.0.
That would be crazy. You know what I always think
We're
of
in a
this?
great position, Griff.
I always think of
we are in a great position.
The 2013 wild card round when we lost to the 49ers. Remember that one? Because I remember that was one of my first year. That was my first year really watching football, and I was telling all my friends at school, like, it's gonna be so cold. The Packers are gonna win, and then they lost. I only thought they were gonna win because of the weather. All I knew about it was how cold it was gonna be, and I was like, they don't want to come to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and they lost. So. Hopefully that doesn't happen. That's kind of off tangent, but just.
I mean, yeah, it's not just the weather. Like, we need to rely on more than the weather. We can't go out and play flat. Like, we need to go out and play like. The whole thing is about mentality, and if we go and like, I'm hoping we play a team like, if it's gonna be San Fran, the whole mentality is gonna be, oh, they think they're hot, they're gonna run it on us like they did in 2019 in the NFC Championship, and like they've done in that same year, they did it twice on us. It's going to be that again, and we need to be able to be the underdogs in some way. If it's LA, it's tough. Like, we beat them like already. If it's Tampa Bay, in maybe in the NFC Championship, that's one that we'll get up for that game. But like, you know what I mean? You get concerned about like, we are the best team in the league. To be fair, like it's easy to kind of sit and rest on your laurels. I just hope that doesn't happen. But it's hard to say against who that it could happen. You know what I mean? Like, whoever comes out and wins in the wild card round, hopefully that's enough mentality-wise. Like, they just won a football game in the playoffs. It's going to be a challenge either way. But the Rams are very good, and then at times they haven't looked great, but they're good enough. They're all good, all these teams. That's the thing about these playoffs. They're all good teams. Like, I'm not, like, going to sit here and, like, be excited to play any of these teams, that's for sure.
Yeah, except the Eagles. I feel like we would wipe the Eagles.
Yeah, we would beat them pretty handily, but you never know. You just never know. I mean, they're in the playoffs.
These playoff games are so tough, man, and you're playing such good teams, and it's such a battle that, like remember when the Ravens played the Vikings earlier this season, and they took them to overtime. The Ravens barely won in overtime. And then on a short week, they have to go to Miami, and they get absolutely embarrassed. At the time, Miami was one of the worst teams in the league, and everyone was like, what happened? It's because, man, these overtime games, like, think about the Raiders this week after their game they just had on Sunday night. Like, they're going to be exhausted. It takes a lot out of you when you're battling that hard. And if we end up playing the Rams or the Cardinals, who are coming off of a Monday night game and have to fly to Green Bay to play us when we're sitting on 2 weeks rest, that's quite the advantage, man, especially if it's close like it usually is between those teams. It's going to be quite the advantage there, but, could also get an upset where the 49ers could beat the Cowboys, which I'm sure, according to Vegas, that would be an upset, but I don't know if that's really an upset because I feel like there's good possibility of that happening. I mean, we're fingers crossed for Eagles beating the Bucs, right? Like, that's the best case scenario there.
Well, think about that. I mean, not only do we get to play a 7 seed, but then Tom Brady's Bucs are eliminated.
Yeah, they're gone. Oh,
but they haven't been playing good. Like, we're the only team that's consistently played like an NFC team, like that's gonna have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Think about
NFL
the Cardinals.
Teams,
yeah, that's true. I mean, even like think about the favorite who's the favorite in the AFC? Kansas City.
Bro, the Titans are the 1 seed. The Titans are the 1 seed. I'm saying they're the 1 seed. Like,
yeah, I don't even think they're that good.
Not that good. Yeah,
I don't even think they're that good at all. Like, all year I've been like, yeah, the Titans aren't that good. Like,
I know, yeah, and then it's like, oh wow, they're the 1 seed after last week. Like, that's
they
weird.
they sleptwalked into the 1 seed because Kansas City couldn't do anything. I mean, and Kansas City's the next best team.
Now I'm hearing this Mike Vrabel Coach of the Year talk.
Nope.
Get out of here. Just annoying.
Stop it. They just look for somebody new every week because they don't want to give it to Matt LaFleur.
Why do they not want to give it to Matt LaFleur?
Idea.
I mean, come on. I get it in 2019. I even get it in 2020 because Rodgers won the MVP, and he was so absurd. But this year, man, it's like at the Oscars when like a director, or at the Emmys when a TV show is so good for a long time but doesn't win any Emmys, so like the last season they'll give it the Emmy, even if it wasn't the best thing on TV that year. Like, give it to Matt LaFleur, man. He's had 3 13-win seasons in a row. Rookie head coach. Like, he deserves it after all these years.
He does, and I mean, now this is the most impressive of all the years, because we got the 1 seed locked up, despite all the chaos that we've had injury-wise throughout the year and everything else. We locked it up before the season even ended. I mean,
I mean, come on, man. And, like, the teams
Ridiculous.
we've played, the injuries we've had.
It's been unreal, the job that Matt LaFleur has done. Obviously, the whole team as well. But Matt LaFleur is a player's coach. He's a leader of men. He is everything you'd want in a head coach on the football field. And it's just so great to have him. And he's been great. I mean, he doesn't falter. He's very cool, calm, and collected at every moment. He's like a fan too. He riles us all up on third downs, trying to get everybody all cheering for the defense. And it's like he speaks to every part of what it means to be a fan, a player. The upper management he's probably great with too, because the relationship with him and Brian has been good enough that they've got what they wanted to get done. They've done it. I mean, everything has been accomplished, and the only thing that hasn't been done is to get a Super Bowl. Everything else, they've been on the same page, and it's been great. They got Aaron Rodgers, all happy back into the fold again, which is awesome, and that takes a lot from a guy like Matt LaFleur, who is really the middleman in all of it. But he's almost like the perfect representative of what it means to be a Green Bay Packer, because he relates to just about everybody that is related to the organization in any capacity. And as an owner, I think he's great.
Yeah. We could do like the clean sweep on the NFL this season. If we can win the Super Bowl, Rodgers wins MVP, LaFleur wins Coach of the Year, Brian Gutekunst wins Executive of the Year. We could get Rodgers as Super Bowl MVP. I mean, what else is there? Comeback Player of the Year, David Bakhtiari. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Amari Rodgers. It could be crazy what we can do the NFL.
Okay, year. That was, I don't know about that after this last performance.
Hey, man.
I thought he did good at first. his in the first half or whatever, some of his returns were nice.
Yeah,
and then
nice.
when he took it out on the last drive, that was very Ty Montgomery like.
Yeah. Oh, it was, wasn't it? I literally said, Ty Montgomery, what are you doing, bro? I mean,
and then they panned right to Rodgers, I think, after like looking for that same thing. I just felt bad that he did that. You know what else though? I did feel like it's really, think about it, like when you take the kickoff out on a play like that with 40 seconds left or whatever, I think I got
wasting
down to 34.
Time, bro.
That's the thing. It's a risk. It's risk versus reward. The idea with the kickoff is you get some kind of special play, which it's rare. But you get a chance to score right then and there if you take it out and if you return it for a touchdown somehow. It's been done. I mean, it's a risk versus reward thing that if you do it, it's amazing. But if you don't do it, it's the 6 seconds you lose or so. And, I mean, yeah, it sucks.
It's like, would you rather you're losing a play from scrimmage. So taking out the kickoff in a situation like that, you're costing your offense a play from scrimmage. Which would you rather have as a coach? I'm taking the play from scrimmage.
I'm sure, right. But, I mean, there is a scenario in which I understand why. Not in the Ty Montgomery thing.
Yeah, Ty Montgomery, yes.
With Aaron Rodgers, and for when he fumbled, I mean, he fumbled it too.
Oh,
you can protect the ball.
Fumbled it.
He literally lost us the football. That's different.
Why is he taking it out? Why is he taking it out? You know what he cost us?
I don't know.
He cost us the 2-minute warning. Do you remember?
Who does he think he is?
He cost us the 2-minute warning.
Griff,
we would have gotten the ball with like
2:03. No, I know. That was
he takes
Griff,
it out.
Not only lost us the 2-minute warning, a chance to maybe throw the ball or run it. We could even run it if we wanted. That's the beauty in having the 2-minute warning right there. But instead, not only did he fumble the ball, he got rid of that. Who does he think he is? I have no idea. But Rodgers is on the other side. He lost us a chance to get the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands. This is different. It's Jordan Love. There is a possibility. Maybe you want to get a big return and spark not even a touchdown. Maybe you just want to take 10 seconds off the clock, get the ball to the 40 instead of maybe the 25. That sparks you and it gets you closer to what you need. And it didn't happen, of course, but he didn't cost us the ball. Jordan Love did that a play later, so there was that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how this turned into an Amari Rodgers kickoff return analysis, but
I think it's important to discuss. People are really hating on Amari. I mean, it's
I
don't
let him develop.
Should he have done it?
Right, Bron. Let
him
develop.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Well, this guy is a rookie, to be fair, and he's not sitting behind the greatest kick returner in history of football either.
Okay, that Rams game though. That is one of the worst losses in my time as a fan because they were undefeated at the time, and it was such a turning point in our season. We were coming off the bye week. We had a poor record. I'm pretty sure we were 500 with a tie, and then we were so close to beating the undefeated Rams. Rodgers played so well that game. MVS's first career touchdown. That was
Jair.
Jair played out of his mind that game.
That was his game.
That was Yeah.
That was his star game.
That was his
Now
Hall of
he's
Fame
who
game.
he is.
Yeah.
Yes, that was. That's when you first see the flash. That was his rookie year. You see those flashes. We haven't gotten anything like that from Jordan Love, have we?
Oh, Jesus. When I see Jair put on those clamps again when he comes back, I'm going to be so
Oh,
hyped
my
for him.
gosh. I cannot wait for Ja Money to get back here, man.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for Ja Money.
I always think it's funny when my dad calls him Ja.
Everybody calls him Ja.
Yeah, everyone calls him Ja, yeah. That Rams game, it got me thinking about how this offseason we're going to do our I haven't talked to you about this in person, Bron. I've sent you one text about it, but we're gonna do this Matt LaFleur retrospective on YouTube this offseason. Stay tuned for that. We're gonna review every single game of the Matt LaFleur era. I can't wait, bro. We have speaking for myself, I have stories out the wazoo of every single game. I can't wait to go game by game, relive this stuff, talk about it with you, rank them ultimately in terms of enjoyment. I don't know what we could rank it by. Enjoyment, we can rank it by team performance, Rodgers performance, Matt LaFleur performance, number of different
A lot of
things.
fun. This is going to be
I'm
great.
just excited to talk about it.
That is
there's
a
so
fun
many
off-season
things,
project after we win the Super Bowl, Griff. That'll
After
be
we
good.
win the Super Bowl, we're going to be able to say Super Bowl winning head coach Matt LaFleur has always been
The
a good
journey. It's gonna be the entire
journey.
journey.
Yes.
Just like our podcast. If I've talked about this, you can go back in 30 years and listen to our podcast from all 3 seasons to get you to this point where we're gonna finally win the Super Bowl. Fingers crossed. And that's just like what this will be like. When we do this retrospective ranking of Matt LaFleur games in the Green Bay Packers Matt LaFleur era, we'll be able to take that and point at each game and each moment as a single piece of the journey to what will be the Packers' 5th Super Bowl and the first under Matt LaFleur and really the first dance, I would call it.
Yes, the first dance, as you famously called it last week. And we're gonna get to that week 3, 2019. We played the Broncos. We're in the throwback unis, and we're gonna talk about how this was the first podcast that we ever did talking about previewing that game. We were talking about the week 2 game against the Vikings, and we're gonna maybe play a clip, and it's gonna be like, wow, how far we've come. But it's exciting to because it's gonna be fun to just relive this and the Bears game, the first game of Matt LaFleur's career as a head coach. Chicago Bears on Thursday Night Football, 10-3, grinded out victory. Ugly, ugly game for everyone who isn't a Packers fan. But I was so happy that night, man. I was just so happy, and I feel like it's gonna be really fun for the listeners to be able to watch that, listen to that, and it's kind of like a have it on the background type video,
Yeah, it'll be good. But all right, Griff, let's talk about these playoffs a little bit. I'm dying to just jump in here and
Well,
look
the defense.
at these matchups.
Let's talk about the defense. They sucked.
What? No.
They
Defense,
no,
I don't want to talk about the defense. We didn't have
They were
Devante
bad.
Campbell, Griff. We didn't
okay,
have Devondre.
Yes. That's the one takeaway you get from the defensive performance. Devondre Campbell changes.
We
his
didn't
team.
have Jair Orzi either.
Well, yeah, but they haven't played all year. Adding
That's
Devondre in there makes a huge difference, man.
That is true.
Because I'll tell you what.
Yes,
I'll tell you
he's
what. They
great.
looked a lot like the 2018, 2019, 2020 defenses that we've seen. And, Devondre, he's such a good player.
He is ridiculously good. I mean, well, the good thing is that this is what I think is going to help us keep our heads up for this upcoming game in the divisional round. Because we lost. I mean, that's the truth. We did lose the game, and we had guys on defense out there. So it's
And LaFleur was pissed, bro.
he was so mad. He's just like, can we just beat the 2-13 Lions? Can we just?
They gave
we
it
just
all
please?
that they had, though, bro. They scrappy football team, better than their record. This is the game. This was their real Super Bowl. We joke about how the Week 11 loss to the Vikings, that was their Super Bowl. This was literally the Lions Super Bowl. Dan Campbell
they pulled
has had
out a
this
fake
circle.
punt. They had the fake punt. They had about 4 trick plays.
The trick plays, all of it, man. They were ready for this game.
I mean, and that's good for them. I mean, I you know what? Good for them. Like that. The good thing is we have all these things to correct, quote. But I mean, we didn't play great. I mean, the guys that were in, we are more talented than them. And I get this game meant nothing. Rodgers was playing like he was out at practice. I mean, it didn't even matter. And guys it was just about getting through the game healthy and whatnot. But gosh, I mean, the defense did not look good, but we were missing our best player probably with Devondre Campbell. It's at least in the middle of the field. I mean, this guy is ridiculously good, and he changes our defense so much for the better. And yeah, I mean, to have everybody else out there, I thought like Preston looked good, like Rashawn looked pretty good. Like I thought the pass rush was there, but we're gonna get Z back. And then the back end didn't look great at times, but oh wait, we're gonna get Money back, Jair Alexander. And, maybe, the offensive line at times couldn't hold up or whatever. Rodgers got sacked in a game where he shouldn't have been touched, but we just got David Bakhtiari back, and Bill Turner's coming back, and Josh Myers just got back. So, I mean, I feel pretty good about where we're at. I feel good about, even that we lost this game, it sucks, but at the same time, we're going to have a chance to correct. And it's going to keep us with the mindset of, well, we just lost. We're not like, we don't have our heads completely inflated. We did just lose to the Lions. Whether it was our, half our team or not, whatever the case is, I mean, we did just lose. So it's not like we're coming in with our heads all held up high, for sure. I mean, we've got some work to do to correct that, and I think it'll keep us on our toes, preparing like we need to go and do everything we can to win against whoever we're playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we need to say about the defense. How about that graphic, by the way, that every single account on Instagram posted about the highest touchdown to interception ratios of all time in a single season? Rodgers has like the top 7 or something like that. I mean, that's insane. Yeah. I'm watching the game, and that just popped up, so just wanted to mention that. But that's all we need to talk about the Lions game. Who cares? Meaningless. Jordan Love.
Playoffs, please.
Didn't play great. Playoffs.
Oh, I thought you
you think I want to talk more about Jordan Love? I don't know.
You were like, all right, Jordan Love. I was like, didn't I say enough? You want me to add more to that? Goodness gracious.
Okay,
but let's talk about the playoffs. The regular season is officially over, and after that playoff type game that we had on Sunday night, do you want to talk about that? I don't really want to talk about the AFC playoffs at this moment.
I mean, I want to talk about that game because that game was so crazy, man. Like,
it was a lot of fun to watch.
That game was insane. I am so mad that, I mean, everyone in America was rooting for the tie there because they would have both gotten in. But I was so mad that the Raiders won because I love Justin Herbert. I love watching him. He's insane. I thought he was going to be the biggest bust of all time, and he's maybe the most fun quarterback to watch in the NFL other than Aaron Rodgers because he's so fun to watch, and all the fourth downs he was pulling out, he's just incredible. Love that guy. Yeah, and I'm sad that their season's really over. Brandon Staley too. Like, not even that he's this great coach, but just the decisions that he's making. It's like every week it's like, oh my God, what is Brandon Staley going to do this week that's going to turn everyone on their heads?
You know what's
going
crazy,
for it on
Griff?
4th and 1 from your own 20? Like, that's crazy.
He was doing too much. Like, why is he doing... Like, I get it. It's like you want to outsmart him, but, like, he was just doing too much. You wanted to... Like, I don't know what he was going for with the timeout and whatnot, but in terms of the game, like...
There,
that was crazy.
Man,
I mean, they were going to tie.
They were going to tie. They were going to
do it. They were going to do it. And people probably wouldn't have... I mean... I think everybody was rooting for it, but at the same time, it's like, what's going to happen after that? Are they all going to go, are both teams going to go to the local bar and get drinks together? I mean, like, what's going to happen? Like, it would have been a weird situation. Like, everybody's happy. Like, I don't know. I like that the Raiders did what they were like, oh, you want to call a timeout and you want to get the ball back? What do you, like, we were just about to tie with you, and you know what? Just for that, we're going to kick a field goal, and we're going to win the game, and we're going to send you home, and we're going to send the Steelers to the playoffs. Man.
That's the thing. Brandon Staley's like, we just wanted to get our guys on the field. Well, you can't tell that to the coach on the other side because he thinks that you're trying to get the ball back. It's like, you can't do this. You can't play the I know that he knows that I know. You can't play that game. They should have just let the clock run. The Raiders, they probably would have ran a play, but it would have been like half-assed like the other two plays were, and it probably would have ended the game right there. And then maybe they go to the bar and have a couple drinks together. You know, that reminds me of, do you remember in 2018, there was a scenario where in 2018, week 16, we were playing the Bears at Soldier Field, and there was a scenario where the Bears could have clinched the NFC North that week, even with a loss, depending on the outcome of the Vikings game. And it would have been so funny if we would have beat the Bears and then they still got out the hats and T-shirts. Like, that would have just been the funniest situation that I've seen. It didn't happen, but it's a similar situation where, like...
Yeah.
I mean, this game, they needed a Jaguars team that's won 2 games all year to beat the Colts. And everyone's like, oh, man, I wish that could happen. And then it did happen. And then they actually... The odds of all this happening, bro, was absolutely absurd. The odds of the Jags beating the Colts, first of all, astronomical. And then they actually went to overtime. It was actually close at the end of the game. They actually go to overtime and get the clock the 10 minutes to expire. And they still didn't tie, but the fact that it was that close is so crazy, man. And I hope that every playoff game is like that one, because I had so much fun watching that game.
The chaos, the drama of that, like the
drama,
whole,
man.
The whole day was so good. Even the one game that really was only tied to itself was the 49ers, and then when the Saints went out and took care of business, that game meant even more, because the Niners were really winning in, and if they lost, they were out, and they get the pick in overtime off Mr. Picky, and
that was
just
awesome.
Got it done. It was so
Watching
cool.
Stafford choke, man.
I feel like most of the games I felt pretty good about who was getting in. Because, like, if the Saints got in over the Niners, obviously that's not right. Like, I think the Niners are a much better team.
And
than
who wants to watch the Saints?
And
then who wants to watch the Saints?
No,
man?
Right, nobody. The only thing was they would have been playing the Bucs, who they kind of have their number, but at the same time, the Bucs did beat them in the playoffs very handedly last year. Even though they beat them twice in the regular season, the Saints beat the Bucs. They did it again this year. They beat them twice. They even shut them out in the last game between the two. But the Bucs would have won. I have a strong feeling, and it just wouldn't have been a good game. But now it's a little bit more exciting. Like, who wants to watch the Saints? They have a backup quarterback. Like, their backup is in. I mean, the Niners deserve to be in the playoffs, and I think the same thing happened in the game last night. I feel like the fact that the Raiders beat the Chargers, those two are very, very close to me, and the Raiders did a good job of when they win the game, they're better than the Chargers, and that says it all right there. Even though I feel like Justin, he played really great, and I love watching him, like you said, and they have great receivers, and they have Corey Linsley, which is awesome, and it would have been nice to have him in the playoffs,
and Balaga.
The Raiders and Brian, but he's been hurt, but. Yeah, but I mean the Raiders did exactly. I like Derek Carr a lot. Like, I like the Raiders. They did everything they could. They won. They deserve to get in. And then the Steelers, like, they won too. Like, they beat the Ravens. That game felt like it could be a game where, like, the winner of that game gets in, and I would feel comfortable with that. Like, because the Ravens with Lamar certainly could argue to be a playoff team, but the Steelers beat the Ravens with Lamar light. Tyler Huntley literally plays exactly like him, and they deserve to get in. The Steelers deserve to get in because they won. And if you win in Week 18...
Who in their right mind wants to watch the Pittsburgh Steelers, man? Like that.
They have good players. They have great defense, Griff.
I don't want to watch Big Ben
of course
Roethlisberger, man.
But
I was hoping they would tie so both the Raiders and Chargers would get in, and I didn't have to watch Big Ben next week.
Are the Chargers better than the Steelers? Probably, but I like the idea that the two winners of Week 18 get in. And I think the Steelers have a lot of great defensive personnel, like they've got. And the idea of Big Ben, like, on this maybe Cinderella, opportunity to get a Super Bowl maybe in his last year, or even just win playoff games, there's something to that. I mean, like, the fact that they weren't even supposed to be here, really, and they got in because the Chargers and Raiders didn't tie. Like, there's something to that. And I feel like this game against Kansas City that they have in the first round, and I guess we'll start talking about the playoff picture now, but they play Kansas City in round 1. And to me, I think that could be a potential upset. I might sound crazy, but there is something to that.
Ben has the potential to get slaughtered in this game. He might die on the field.
Griff, just don't be surprised if it's closer, because the Chiefs are going to walk. The Chiefs aren't very good to me. They're just not that good. I don't think they're great. They literally sleepwalk through games. This is a game that they beat them by. Griff, they beat them by 30. I feel like the Steelers could easily go right up there and maybe not win, but they'll play it close. I think it's going to be a better game than you think.
So you're taking the points, is what you're saying?
Oh, yes.
I don't know what the spread is. Let me look up what the spread is.
Let's look up the spreads in all of these. That'll tell us where everybody's leaning.
It is a 12.5 point spread. Kansas City favored, of course. Are you taking the 12.5 for Pittsburgh?
Oh, yeah, by far. Yeah. This is the playoffs. This is the playoffs. I mean, it's either going to be Kansas City by 30, or it's going to be like a 2-point, 3-point game. So.
Well, I also think that the Chiefs are a little bit overrated and not very good, but they are very good against bad teams, and I think the Steelers are a bad team. So I'm taking Kansas City with the points. They're going to win by more than 13, at least 13, I think, because Big Ben, it's funny, his little Cinderella story. He just had his little song and dance at Heinz Field last week on Monday Night Football. Everyone's thinking this is his last game ever, and then he's like, "Oh, we're actually in the playoffs here. This is weird." I feel like he is
Well, they're not gonna. The difference is like that was his last home game. They're not gonna get another home game. But yeah, I mean, it was weird. Now they're gonna be in the playoffs. That was his last home game, though.
Yeah, I know, but it felt like everyone thought this was his last
it felt
game.
like we're not gonna. Well, I mean, he played He also played this week, but yeah.
No, I'm saying this week. I'm saying like they went into this one thinking it was his last ever game.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, the Jaguars beat the Colts.
I remember watching the pregame. And for like 5 minutes straight, they showed him throwing 5-yard passes in some like back locker room area, just throwing with some guy for like 5 minutes straight on the NFL game day.
Oh my God!
They just for 5 minutes straight, they just warming up, throwing like a 5-yard throw.
I mean, has there ever been a superstar quarterback, like generational star at quarterback, less likable and less just a worse quarterback to watch than Ben Roethlisberger, especially at this stage of his career? Like, God. In the fourth quarter, the Steelers are going to be down by 30 points, and Ben Roethlisberger is going to throw a check down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage on 4th and 14, and I'm going to change the channel at that point.
Well, I do think the Steelers have a lot of defensive stuff that can disrupt what the Chiefs do on offense. The only thing is, I think their pass rush, T.J. Watt, I think that it's going to be a problem. I don't think it's going to be as close as we think, Griff. I don't. As you think. I think it's going to be.
Okay,
no, wait. Hold on. I said that incorrectly. I think it's going to be closer than you think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're taking Pittsburgh plus 12.5. I'm taking KC minus 12.5. Let's talk
Let's go to the
let's
next game.
let's quickly wrap up the AFC here. We can't spend that much time on every AFC game.
Yeah, you went on this Big Ben tangent for about 10 minutes.
Hate Big Ben. Okay, Raiders at Bengals. We've got Bengals favored by 6.5. I don't know. I kind of like the Raiders there, right?
Oh,
6.5. Joey Burrow's first playoff game
with the spread. Oh, I'm assuming. Okay, yeah, we'll do with the spread. I think Kansas City's going to beat the Steelers, but it's going to be close.
Okay, but you're taking Pittsburgh with the points there.
Yeah. With this game, I'm definitely. A lot of people don't understand betting, like the spreads.
Yeah,
it's like it's the handicap that a team gets, because the Packers are much like, let's say the Packers are playing the 2-13 Lions on a normal Sunday that wasn't without half of the team. We're gonna have a lot of points given to the Lions because we're so much better than the Lions. Nobody thinks the Lions actually have a shot to beat us, but if they can keep it within, let's say, 13 points, then they win against the spread. If that makes sense. Some people still won't.
Let me explain this better. So every single game, their Vegas or sports books assign a given spread to every single game. So in this game, Raiders at Bengals, they predict the Bengals to win by 6.5 points. So the Bengals are minus 6.5, meaning if you take the final score, subtract 6.5 from it, do the Bengals still win? And vice versa, if you add 6.5 to the Raiders score, do the Raiders win?
There you go. That's that's definitely better. Okay. So then now, with that said, the Raiders, what's the spread? 6.5? I like the Raiders getting 6.5 points because they're going to keep, I think they've won 4 straight games. They just beat a really good Chargers team. Although Cincinnati did just beat Kansas City not long ago. This is a good game. This is a really good game. I love this game. Actually,
I don't know.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game. But
I'm taking Vegas plus 6.5 for sure.
Joe Burrow is another one of those quarterbacks that I just love to watch, And Jamar Chase, that's like a Devante Rodgers pairing there. Because it's like they're just so in sync.
What?
I said it's similar. I said it's similar.
No,
did you see Jamar go off for 266 and 3 tuds?
Okay, but that's not like the connect. There's no mental mind meld that they've got. It's their rookies.
Yeah, well, one of them is rookie, but anyways.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow's year 2 after an injury, so.
You know what? I'm taking Bengals with the points because I think the Raiders, coming off of a game in overtime, so much drama, they're going to be tired. And this game is when 1:15. When is that? That's Saturday, right?
I don't know, but yeah. So so we have 2 different picks here. So I'm picking the Bengals to beat the Raiders.
Yeah, that's Saturday. So the Raiders are going to be very tired, very exhausted, and I think the Bengals are going to be. They've rested their starters. They didn't play any starters on Sunday, so I think they're going to run right through the Raiders.
Yeah, I think so. We're both picking the Bengals, but I think it's going to be closer. You think it's going to be a little bit more of a stretch of points there.
Yeah. Okay. Patriots at Bills, 4.5 point spread. Good game.
How many?
I love
4?
these.
You say 4.5?
Yeah, 4.5. I love these matchups, divisional matchups in the playoffs, where you get that three-peat because they split the series in the regular season. And now we get the winner takes all here.
Oof, this is a good one. Division rivals. I think if it's 4.5 for Buffalo, I'm assuming that it's going to be tough. Can New England keep up if Buffalo starts passing all over them? I feel like it's going to be tough. This is going to be such a close game. I almost want to pick New England to win. I almost do. I can't believe this. This is going to be a great game. I think all 3 of these games are exciting.
Dude, every game is exciting. Even the worst game on the board. Well, no, Steelers-Chiefs. That's a snooze.
No, I think Tampa Bay. I don't know, whoever, but we'll figure it out.
Eagles-Bucks, that's probably objectively the worst game. But that's exciting because we get to pull hard for the Eagles. So we have some rooting interest there. You're taking the Patriots. I'm also taking the Patriots in that one. I trust Bill Belly. Here, speaking of Eagles at Bucks. That's on Sunday at 1 p.m. Bucks are favored by 9 points. 9-point spread here. Now, I just want to remind you of the Super Wildcard Weekend of 2020. This time last year, the Washington football team hosted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were a wild card. And everyone expected the Bucs to run right through them, but Chris Godwin dropped a bunch of passes, and Taylor Heineke made his name known, and they kept it very close. So do you think that happens again, or do you kind of think the Buccaneers run through the Eagles and cover the 9-point spread?
Well, Chris Godwin is out for the rest of the year. Their best linebacker, we don't know if he'll be back, and their running back as well. They've got guys missing, for sure. They're very hurt. So I'm not sure exactly, Griff. I mean, I think it's going to be within the 9. I'm going to take the Eagles with the +9 there, but I think Tampa Bay obviously is going to end up winning the game most likely.
I think the Eagles also cover, but Bucks win because remember that game? What was that? Week 6 Thursday Night Football this year. Bucks at Eagles. That game was very close, but this one's in Tampa Bay. I don't think the Bucks. No, they've lost. They lost to the Saints in Tampa Bay this year. So. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Eagles cover, Bucks win. Niners at Cowboys, old school 80s, 90s matchup here at 4:30 on Sunday. God, this one's going to be fun. On CBS,
What's the spread? It's got to be Dallas favored, right?
Dallas by 3. Now, the standard is that the home field advantage is worth 3 points. So on a neutral field, this game is pick 'em.
Oh, my goodness, what a game.
Dallas by 3.
And San Fran is hot. They just beat the LA Rams. They just beat the number 4 seed LA Rams. And who else have they beaten on this stretch that they're on? They've been hot. I mean, they're playing well. And when you beat a team like that to go to the playoffs, you got all the momentum you could imagine. Dallas, they just lost to Arizona, who is kind of reeling too. But now they're a little bit. Well, they just lost, and Arizona just lost to Seattle. What a crazy time we're in. I think San Francisco beat the Seahawks. I think was one of the teams,
too. No, they lost to the Seahawks. They lost to the Seahawks, weirdly enough.
Well, this is a crazy situation we're in then.
And they lost to the Titans, too, but they did beat the Bengals in overtime, and they beat the Texans, if that's worth anything.
No, well, the Texans ended up beating. I think the Texans beat somebody that was a good team.
The Texans beat the Titans a couple weeks ago, who then beat the 49ers. So, weird league we're playing in. Niners at Cowboys. Who are you taking? I'm taking the Niners.
I danced all around that one. Oh my gosh!
I'm taking.
I just started bringing up everything. Man. So you're taking the Niners? Oh my gosh!
You know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. You're not allowed to comment. I don't trust Mike McCarthy in this game. Not allowed to comment. Moving on. Who are you picking?
What the heck, Griff? What? What does that mean? I like Mike. Dang it! I don't know who I'm. You know what? Just for that, I think I'm taking Dallas. I think
you're taking Dallas.
I just don't. Can San Francisco? Here's the question. I think Dallas is susceptible in the passing game because of what we talked about this last week. Their corners, I don't think, are very good at all. I think their corners are really, really susceptible. And they're going to rely on those guys like they're good. Does San Francisco have the ability to take advantage of that with Jimmy G at quarterback? That's the question. Even his good throws are very pickable, if you ask me. Like he almost got picked on that one to Debo at the end of the game that got them into the position to get to overtime.
So close, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna take Dallas. I'm gonna take Dallas with the points even, I think, because I'll take Dallas -3. It'll probably be around 4, 5, 6. I just think that they're gonna win this game, but then I think whoever, I don't think they're gonna end up playing us, sadly, but whoever whoever they get to next, which it'll probably be if Dallas wins, I guess I'll have them playing that'd be Tampa Bay. Oh, I think Tampa Bay would end up beating them.
We'll get into this after, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Cardinals-Rams. This is the highlight primetime matchup. Monday Night Football. First time there's been a playoff game on Monday night since I don't know when, maybe ever. But the spread it's at LA, by the way. LA did win the division, crazy enough, because the Cardinals were 8-0, what feels like a month ago.
Yeah. Now they have 6 losses.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? We destroyed their season with no Devante, no Lazard, no MVS. Anyways, Rams favored by 4. I cannot wait for this game. This game, Week 14, also on Monday night, was a fantastic game. I watched it in a hotel because I was at the Bears game, still in Wisconsin. That was a phenomenal game. I can't wait for this one. Who are you
So we've
in?
seen this game twice, but the difference now here is that both these teams are coming off losses to teams that, in theory, are worse than them. Kind of weird situation. These are the powerhouses of the NFC, Griff. Teams that lost teams that were worse than them and are now playing each other for the right to probably, if we both think that these predictions are correct, the winner of this game will go to Green Bay.
Most likely.
On a short week. So, I mean, this is the cream of the crop in the NFC, Griff. That's why I feel so good about our chances. But I don't know. I feel like the Rams could put Arizona's lights out pretty quick. I don't know. It's a division game, so it'll be close, but I feel like there's a possibility that the Rams could come out and beat them pretty good. I don't like Arizona in this game. I don't. It'd be nice if J.J. Watt played for them. I don't know if he'll play. That would change maybe a little bit, but I think the Rams. What's the spread?
It's 4.
I'm taking the Rams
are
probably with the 4 points too. I'll take the Rams.
Oh, God, it's so tough, man. This game's gonna be so good. I want to take the Rams with the points too. 4 is kind of an awkward number because
I don't like 4
games.
either.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think Arizona's that good.
Lately,
I
what
don't
have you
think
done
Kyler.
for? This is a what have you done for me lately league, Bron.
Yeah,
lately
they're not
these
very
guys.
good. I don't think the Rams are very good either because lately they haven't been good.
They just lost
I don't
to the
think either of
Niners.
these teams are
Yeah.
good. This is our ticket to the NFC Championship. If we get to play one of these two teams, I mean, they'll be coming off a win at that point, but it's like they just beat a bad team. Not that they're bad. They're bad at our standard. We're the best team in the league. We're 13-4, really 13-3. We're not 13-4. We're 13-3, and I think we are much better than just about every other team in this league. It's set up for us to win. These teams suck. They just lost to teams that are bad, fighting for their playoff lives, trying to win the division. The Rams just lost, and they somehow still won because, luckily enough, their other team is awful, Arizona. They had 8 wins. Then we beat them, and then they lost 5 more times after that in the span of like 7 games. They're awful. I don't even it's crazy that these are the teams that we have to worry about. And I'm worried still because anything can happen in this league. But, I mean, I'm taking the Rams. I think their defense is on fire.
Here's my mental math with this one. I think Kyler's a better quarterback. But I think...
Whoa. That's a little... I don't think Kyler's very good. I don't think Matt's very good either.
Who are you taking, Kyler or Matthew Stafford?
I don't like either of them. Wow. I'm going none. I'm taking none of them both.
Jordan Love is your answer. I'm taking Sean McVay.
My goodness.
So here's the deal.
Okay, break it down. Let's break it down.
So
like this.
Matt LaFleur is miles above Sean McVay. Sean McVay is miles above Cliff Kingsbury. I do not trust Cliff Kingsbury in his first playoff game, right? First ever playoff game for Cliff. Just don't trust him. DeAndre Hopkins, I'm assuming he's healthy. I haven't been keeping up with the Cardinals.
No, he hasn't. No.
Is he healthy?
No.
Is he not going to play?
Probably not. I don't.
Oh
maybe.
My God.
Maybe he'll play. He already got hurt.
Reports.
If he plays, I mean, regardless, like he'll be out there. But like he hasn't had a 100-yard game this year, Griff. He not once, not a single 100-yard game.
That's
all
pretty.
Year.
That's pretty insane, dude.
Yeah. So when I agree. I think when you break it down like that, and then when you look at their defenses, I think the Rams, although like at times they look like they're not very good, they have much better talent across the board with Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. They lost their safety. I said Jordan Fuller, when he got hurt, he's a good safety for them. He replaced John Johnson in a lot of ways for them, near the line of scrimmage and even the things he was doing in the back end too. That's a big loss.
Okay, so we've got Hopkins is on IR.
Yeah.
I don't know his status for this game. Assuming he's not going to play. So I trust the connection of Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. I mean, they have been phenomenal this season. So,
but when he's throwing to Odell, even though Odell is great, like he just has no
made some
connection.
crazy
with him.
plays, yeah. But Stafford
Odell has been great, man. I wish we had him, but it's okay.
Man.
Stafford's awful, yeah. And you know what? I like that all his issues go to OBJ because, like, I bet he wishes he came to Green Bay. I really
He's
do.
got Matthew frickin' Stafford throwing him ducks, game-losing interceptions.
How many times has OBJ had to make? I think OBJ has more tackles than touchdowns with the Rams. I swear.
For real.
Tackles after interceptions.
Okay, so that's it. So we've got Raiders Bengals. You're taking Vegas to win? Are you taking Vegas to win it though?
No, I'm taking the Bengals.
Okay.
I think Raiders got the points though.
Okay. So you're taking Bengals and you're taking New England, correct? Over Buffalo? I'm also taking Cincinnati. I'm also taking New England.
So then our matchup, I think we have the same matchups in the AFC, which would be Tennessee facing New England in the divisional, and then it would be Kansas City versus Cincinnati, which would be exciting too. Considering that game happened and it was a crazy one.
God,
Cincinnati wins that game. Well, they not wins that game, but they won that game just 2 weeks ago. They beat them by 3.
Mm-hmm. And that game was
that would
insane,
be interesting.
These last few weeks, this is why we watch football, bro. This is why we watch football. Okay, so for the NFC, we've got
Tampa
the Bucs
Bay
winning,
and,
of course. Then
Tampa Bay and LA.
You have Dallas winning.
Oh, I do. So they would be Tampa Bay and Dallas for me,
Yeah.
which I think that's a lot of fun. But
would
have Tampa Bay and
I
the
have
Rams.
San Fran coming to Green Bay next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're talking, baby.
Oh, God. Okay, am I rooting for Dallas now? I don't know.
I want to play Dallas so bad, dude.
Man.
I feel like Dallas, we'd lock them up.
You think so?
We'd beat them. I think we'd beat them,
This
man.
is
I'm
so
hoping that
fun,
they win.
Man. This is so fun. God.
I think we beat everybody,
What a
frankly.
season.
I'm not. Everybody's like, oh my goodness, San Francisco. I'm not worried about San Francisco. They have no core.
I'm just worried because of
capable.
history. I'm worried about our playoff record versus San Francisco.
Come on. I mean,
know.
really, yeah, I get it, but like,
How
I
many
don't
passes
think San
did Jimmy
Francisco
G
beats
throw
us.
in the 2019 NFC Championship game?
They are not beat. I know
think he
that's
threw
a good
6
point.
completions.
Yeah, but they don't have Raheem Mostert anymore, do they?
Okay, it doesn't matter with Shanahan. Who's their running back
Shanahan's
right
not
now?
that good, man. Shanahan's not that good.
No, I'm saying the way he coordinates the run game. It doesn't matter who the
Yeah, I
running
get.
back
I
is.
mean, well, but the problem is, Griff. I think we're going to go into this game like, oh my gosh, we got to stop the run after what they did last time in 2019. Like, remember Derrick Henry in 2020 when we beat
Yes.
them 40 to whatever.
Dalvin
and
Cook 2 weeks ago.
Yes, whenever we key in on a guy, or in this case, we'll just stop the run against San Francisco. Whenever we do that, we can rely. I mean, we don't have to worry about them passing on us with Jair, Rasul Douglas, our safeties. We don't have to worry about them passing it on us. If we key in on stopping the run against San Francisco, we're going to be fine. We are going to be absolutely fine because we're going to do what we always do when we get ready and know what we have to prepare for. We'll be fine. I think we'd beat San Francisco just like we did earlier this year.
And then we've both got the Rams winning over the Cardinals, which would be crazy. Like a crazy finish. Does that mean Cliff loses his job, maybe? Imagine the Cardinals go 1 and done. Imagine the Rams go 1 and done. God,
they have
after
everything
the
on the
season
line.
they've had.
They traded picks for
Jeez,
Matt
man.
Von Miller. They signed OBJ. They've made all these trades. Matthew Stafford trade.
Stafford, the paper Super Bowl champions from May, dude.
Yep.
From February. Like, when did they trade for
They
Stafford?
never
I
win
think
it,
was
Griff.
February,
They never
man.
win it except Tampa Bay last year.
So I'm
was one.
kind of intrigued to root for LA or Arizona here, just for the narrative of like the memes that'll come out of that clowning on the Rams. I'm all for clowning on the Rams.
Because then we'd end up playing. Well, you'd have us still playing San Fran, but I would then have us playing Arizona. That's weird. I
like that matchup. I like that matchup. Arizona coming to Green Bay.
Well, the great thing is both these are the San Fran, Arizona, LA, warm weather teams.
Yes.
3 out of the 4. The only one that isn't a warm weather team is Philadelphia, and they've played in some cold for sure. This past week it was really cold in their game, but they're the 7th seed too, and they're not very good. So that's what the difference is between what we have. So we're either playing a warm weather team, which is always a bonus, or we're not to mention that we beat already this year. A warm weather team that we beat this year because we swept that division. We swept that division. So that it's either that or the 7 seed, who, yes, they're coming off a win, but they're probably the worst football team remaining in these playoffs. Either them or the Steelers. And worst quarterback, potentially, too.
Well, maybe Stafford. We take it. Jalen Hurts or
No, stop it.
Okay.
Mr. Picky, though, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm so excited, man. I want to simulate my life to Saturday, just sitting on the couch. Sunday, Monday night.
Griff,
This is super,
the anticipation
man.
is just as good. The anticipation is just as good as getting there and watching it. It'll be fun.
What's your favorite game? What's your favorite game?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, why don't we... I don't know. I mean,
do you want to rank these games? Rank these games. Most intriguing, least intriguing.
From the NFC? Or we'll do NFC and AFC?
Give me
all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me all of them.
I'm looking all at them right now, so that's fine. I think the most exciting game, honestly, could be... Oh, my gosh. I can't pick. Dallas and San Fran is so good. I'm deciding... Well, I'm about to name 4 games that I'm deciding between. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. That's pretty pointless. But, okay. Well, you give me yours. Maybe it'll sway me.
Okay, my number one most intriguing. It's got to be Arizona versus the Rams. That one's
We've seen
prime
that
time.
twice.
I know.
We've seen
That's
it
the
twice.
same thing with Patriots and Bills. Seen it twice already. I love those games, man. Remember last year, the Seahawks and Rams? Like the Rams, those games were ugly, grinded out victories for the Rams all 3 times. But it's like, it's just so fun. It's so fun because these teams know each other so well. Man, that's my number one. What's your number one? Most intriguing game here.
I'm going to go with Dallas and San Fran because I feel like that game is going to determine a lot. It's like that one has the most potential for upset to me. That's probably why I'm picking it. And you kind of get the best of both worlds with the New England and Buffalo game, the fact that that's a division game and it's that same 3-6 upset potential. But I'm going to take the NFC because that matters more to us as Packers fans. So I'm going to go with that game. But it's that one's my most exciting, I would say.
That's my number 2. Okay, that game is going to be a lot of fun. It's weird that that's on CBS. Doesn't that have such a Joe Buck, Troy Aikman feel to it? That's on CBS. How strange.
Yeah. Well, with Dallas, you'd think. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So then my number 2 would be, I guess I would go with... I would say LA and Arizona. That one is. I mean, those are the 2.
Yeah, those are the 2
matchups
of the weekend.
there.
Yeah,
those are the powerhouse matchups.
Number 3 for me, it's got to be Raiders Bengals.
Yeah, I would go that too.
That's gonna be fun. That has blowout potential though.
For who?
So,
Cincinnati? You think?
Yeah, Cincinnati. Yeah.
Because I think the Vegas back end isn't special. So the Jamar Chase thing could be a problem for the Raiders. But that's probably problem. I would say that's the next best game for me too.
And then it's got to be Patriots Bills, right?
Of course, yeah.
Even that one
upset.
I can't wait for. That's
I'm excited.
Too.
Talk about there's so many. I think I love watching Josh Allen. Like, I'm so excited.
He's fun to watch. Yeah, he's fun
so
to
exciting. Like he runs around. He almost had 1 touchdown this weekend. That was insane. He threw it as he was falling to the ground, and a guy was sliding, and he almost caught. He just doesn't care. Like he'll make any throw, and he'll try any throw. It's awesome.
He's a lot like Favre. Like people compare all kinds of quarterbacks to Favre. They compare Rodgers to Favre, doesn't have enough turnovers. Mahomes to Favre, again, doesn't have enough turnovers. Josh Allen is the perfect Brett Favre comp. And the Patriots. I love watching the Patriots because it proves that Mac Jones is just as good as Tom Brady was as a rookie, as a young quarterback, and anyone can thrive in that system. So I'm excited for that one. That's in prime time. They're talking about crazy weather in Buffalo again, potentially. That's going to be fun. Next game has got to be Eagles-Bucks. Maybe the Bucks, you never know what you're getting with them. Maybe they'll
I don't like watching them play, dude.
Strip off his jersey and storm off the field.
It's
a reality show.
I would like that. I'd like that. I don't. You know what? We forgot to mention that Antonio Brown. Like they lost Godwin and Brown. Like those are their 2. Maybe their 2 best receivers, man. Like that's crazy. I'm going with Kansas City and Pittsburgh because I feel like that game actually has a chance to be close. I don't know if this one is really going to be all that close. Even if it's the spread is what is it? We said it's 6.5.
KC
9?
and Pittsburgh.
No, it's a 9-point spread.
It's 9. Yeah. KC and Pittsburgh is the biggest spread by a mile. That's 12.5.
I think it's going to be closer than that.
And
I also don't like watching Tampa Bay. I mean, like, it's just not fun. Like, it's watching Brady check down every play.
What do they call it on Twitter? Doom scrolling? Like when
they run the ball, they run pass, and Brady throws a check down, and it's like it's so boring.
Is there anything worse than watching Brady his entire career throw a check down and then watching the running back break tackles and get 12 yards on the play?
These Patriots fans have no idea what real football is. It's so sad.
Yeah. But, okay, well, that's our rankings there.
Yeah,
we made our picks. This is fun, man. This is fun. If you've listened this far, thank you. It's very appreciated. Make sure to DM us. Tell us that you listened this far. It's nice to know that people are listening to this podcast. So just give us a reminder. Tell us if you enjoyed it. Give us a review. Tell us if you hated it. If you didn't like us at all, didn't enjoy it at all, just let us know. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow both of us on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram at AllDayPackers. You can follow Bron on Instagram at Lambo.Leapers. And rate the review 5 stars on iTunes. Please share it with your friends and family. Subscribe to it on all the platforms, even if you don't listen to them. It just helps a lot. And we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Enjoy this weekend of football. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll be back next week. Maybe with Mason. Who knows? We were trying to get him for this week. Not going to happen. Maybe next week we'll have Mason. Go Pack Go.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Excited for the playoffs. Cannot wait to preview. Hopefully on Monday night we'll know. Otherwise we're going to have to go to Tuesday probably, because if San Francisco wins on Sunday, then we'll know, okay, we're playing San Francisco. But if there's no upsets, we'll have to see what happens in that Monday night game, which then we'll preview what will be a super, super exciting game on Super Wild Card Weekend. Griff, there you go, with the super again.
Super. Yeah.
But, yeah, no, it's going to be super fun to watch these games, and I'm looking forward to hopefully a really fun divisional round matchup, and we'll preview that next week, Griff. So thanks for listening, everybody. Go Pack, go.